A grenade hits the rocks. Behind them, what seems to be a US Special Operations team, fighting the enemy fire from all directions. A US sniper crawls behind the tree and fires a deadly round of ammo towards the enemy fighters. The scene is familiar to all of us. We have seen multiple films about heroes, soldiers fighting for freedom. However, this movie has a different feel to it compared to the rest. The US sniper has a different appearance. Big lips, a curvaceous body. This is not Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg, it's a female special ops soldier. Now, get ready to watch this movie in the future, because females will be the main characters. Today, they're the main characters of my speech. I will cover three major points. First, I will discuss the implementation of women in combat roles and what an achievement it is. Secondly, I will inform you about the controversy generated by this new policy. And finally, I will review why I believe it's a great idea to permit females to participate in combat operations. As our military goes through a series of big changes to include budget cuts, the repeal of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, since 2013, a big change has been implemented in some services. Females are for the first time allowed to take part in combat roles, and in some services allowed to participate in special operation teams. This is a big milestone in our military, especially for females that look for equality of rights. According to Laura Primavera and John Howard from the East Carolina University, with the repeal of the rule, a victory was had for women wishing to serve in direct combat. Our military has had an increasing presence of females within it. It's common to hear the phrase that only 1% of our population serves in the armed forces, but do you know how many females serve today in your service? Female presence has been increasing in the DoD. Using the Air Force as an example, we can see how a strong female presence is centered in the Air Force today. In the article from Stripes.com by Wyatt Olson, he declares that today women comprise about 20% of the service. This is a good number, but Air Force leaders intend to increase this number. According to Secretary of the Air Force Deborah Lee James, in her article, if we are up to 20% today, why can't we be upwards up to 30% in the years to come? This goal will take new changes on the jobs available to females, as there is more interest by some females today to apply to combat-related jobs as there was in the past. However, not everyone agrees with this initiative, as there is some retractors to the idea of females serving on these positions. There is a discussion about how well will females integrate on combat units. According to Jerry Boken, a former Green Beret commander, this combat environment, now containing males and females, will place a tremendous burden on combat commanders. Not only will they have to maintain their focus on defeating the enemy in battle, they will have to do so on an environment that combines life-threatening danger with underlying sexual tensions. Another issue raised by detractors is the physical requirements for the job. Many believe that females will force the services to lower the standards. Many, like Boken, feel that the physical toll is constant and wearing, and that females might not be able to endure them. However, I do not believe that this will generate a problem, and also I do not believe that the military will lower the standards. According to Secretary of the Air Force Deborah Lee James, the special operations positions will have a gender-neutral standards. This means that any candidate that meets the minimum physical requirements will be able to continue. The service look closely on how they will implement changes that will reduce as much as they can the sexual tension. That is why proposals like the repeal the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the same-sex couples benefits are important steps in changing the old mentality that we have in the military. This is indispensable because we are reducing the force with budget cuts, and we will need to be more flexible as a force. Leaving all the stigmas that we have had in the past behind us will make us better and will allow us to take care of the mission. The faster we get rid of all the stigmas, the stronger we will become as a force. Now that we have talked about why this is not an issue, let me jump into my conclusion. In conclusion, I believe that it's a step towards the right way. It's a step towards equality within the service by allowing females to occupy the special operations and combat positions. We discussed how letting females take roles in combat ops is a major milestone and an achievement. Secondly, we review some of the counterparts of the proposal, who believe that females would not be physically fit to fight. Finally, we review how the Air Force is looking at a gender-neutral physical requirements for jobs to reduce the stigma and the sexual tension. Therefore, as I've said in the beginning of this speech, the next time you watch that movie of special ops, it's not going to be Matt Damon. It's going to be a girl in it.